Let's go.
To be able to express oneself with the simple stroke of a pencil or brush is truly a gift. To share that gift with others is a present to society. That is what our next guest does. As Carly learned, she met with Jason Hunt, an artist who, over the course of his life, has earned countless awards for his compositions, first with oils and acrylics, now with a simple graphite pencil. Let's get a peek into his works of artistic expression.
I'm here with Jason Hunt, and he is an artist. So what kind of medium do you use as an artist?
Graphite pencil, exclusively.
Really? How old were you when you figured out that you could draw?
I don't have a memory when I couldn't.
Why did you use graphite pencil?
Probably because of my financial circumstances. My family was very poor, so we couldn't afford supplies. So I basically had to get a pencil and the paper was next to nothing. So then I got into painting for about 25 years, which I stopped about 10 years ago.
Why did you stop?
I got tired of doing something that I truly didn't want to do, which my first love was drawing, so I went back to it.
What type of shows do you do, and how do you market yourself?
Well, basically, most of the marketing is done by my wife, Mary Thompson Hunt, a great love of my life. She basically is the business person in the family. I have a certain business sense, but I don't like doing it. On the internet, I do a lot of shows, and so I have done exhibitions and some museum shows and gallery shows over the year. Through word of mouth, people know who I am. I'm basically a collector artist, so I do have a certain following.
What do you mean by a collector artist?
A collector artist is basically someone who has a theme in mind, and they follow a track that they're looking for, and they have a special place normally for it. And usually when they buy something from you, they're interested in buying something from you again, because whatever you're doing seems to connect with them more than the general person going to an art show. Will see something that might strike them, and they say, "Oh, that's interesting, that's nice, but it doesn't fit into my motif." A collector, that is their motif. That's why they're picking not just me, but many artists who have a certain following. The collector over the general public is usually, collectors will tend to buy more than the general public.
When you're doing a study, where do you get the subjects from? Is it people in your mind, or is it actual models sitting in front of you?
No, I never use models. A lot of times I meet people in the park, or maybe a friend, or my wife, or my brother, or whatever. If I'm talking to someone, I see something in them. I usually photograph. I don't like people to sit for me, because when people sit for you, they try to project the image they want you to see. So they start setting themselves. And when you have people that you just meet and they're comfortable, after a while, you can get their confidence. They don't mind you photographing them or whatever. I'll do it that way, and you'll get a more everyday life, more than people tend to do this. Or a man pulls his stomach in when a woman walks by on the beach, kind of thing. The guy, no one's around. I want to capture the moment when he's not doing that. Or the gesture that your grandfather always does with the back of his hand, or the way you hold your hand yourself. I want to capture the moment of that.
How long does it take you to complete a study?
It all depends on the size and the subject matter. Fortunately, I'm very fast. I can draw extremely fast. I can turn out a 16 by 20 study or portrait within 2 days. Wow. And a larger piece within 3 or 4. So it all varies, but you always pretend it takes longer, so people think they're getting their value. 2 weeks, but it's done in 2 days after I've spoken to them. Yeah, it works like that.
So I see that you're working on something. Can you tell me a little bit about it?
It's just a sketch of Jimi Hendrix, a memory. I saw him, and I just was actually him singing to the mic. It's a simple drawing, and I'm still pondering exactly which direction I'm taking. I usually put things in a very dark background. It's pretty much from memory, so pretty much that's what I'm doing right now.
It's beautiful.
Thanks.
Can we look at some more pieces of your art?
Oh, sure. I have them throughout the house, and I can pull something out for you.
Okay.
No problem.
Wow, these are really beautiful. Can you tell me what inspired you to do this one?
Oh, this is a minister in New Jersey. His name is John Witherspoon, and he's basically working on a sermon in his office. And it just intrigued me, the line and the light. It's basically playing with absolute light and absolute shadow. So it just was an interesting subject matter.
And I see this one.
It's a study of a boy and his father, and it was actually a larger piece, and I just isolated the hands because I found the nature of it reaching for the almost like the painting of creation in the Sistine Chapel.
This is a beautiful piece as well.
Yeah,
Who is this?
That's Edward Dice Price. He just goes by Dice Price. I believe he passed away a few years ago. He grew up with Louis Armstrong in Storyville in New Orleans. and he had the look of age about him. What I did was unusual about this piece. It's done with a, I guess ebony pencil, which I don't use very often. It has about 6 values compared to 26 of a normal graphite pencil. But you can get really strong line. I love the strength of his face.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you so
You're
much.
a very talented artist.
I appreciate your coming.
Work.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you.
What a treat that was to see Jason's works of art. Are you artistically talented? If you'd like to make a living as an artist, there are several options. You can have your own studio, as Jason does, and work the hours you would like. If you would rather have a more regular paycheck, you could find employment with publishing companies, advertising agencies, and design firms, to name a few. Most employers like to hire artists with college or art school degrees. You'll find art programs at many four-year colleges. Independent schools of art and design also offer certification and degrees in the various arts. Typically, these programs focus more intensively on studio work than do the academic programs in a university setting. Research what would be best for you.
Don't worry, there's more coming right up.